Hello and welcome to the series of lectures on basics of accounts. Today we will talk about trial balance. This is the wrap-up lecture from the chapter on ledger. We've done a couple of lectures on ledger, and if you have not already listened to them, or if you already do not have a basic understanding until this point, I would suggest you review those lectures. They're available on the link on the top right corner of your screen. Um, so trial balance is what we will talk about today. Trial balance is the culmination of all the books of accounts that are prepared. I wouldn't say the books of accounts, but the books of primary and secondary entry. All of that is made so that you can make a trial balance. And trial balance is the first step in making the final accounts. In a sense, first step because it is directly the base on which you will prepare the final accounts. Final accounts means your P&L and your balance sheet, which is primarily the objective of maintaining all of the accounts. So trial balance is per se one of the simplest concepts. You have two columns, debit and credit, and all the accounts which have a debit balance will be listed under the debit column, and all the accounts which have a credit balance will be listed under the credit column. We covered in the previous lecture how to balance ledgers. So we also mentioned that the side which is greater, if you were to look at a weighing scale, and if you have one side which is heavy, which goes down, it is called that balance. So if left side is heavy, debit balance. If the right side is heavy or greater, then it's a credit balance. So you will transfer all of those amounts from the ledgers into the trial balance very, very carefully, very, very systematically, because if you forget any one ledger, your trial balance will not tally. Well, yes, one of the most important aspects once you reach the trial balance stage is that it has to tally. It has to tally means the total of debit and the total of credit has to always be equal. Why is that the case? Because everything in accounts is nothing but a journal entry, and when you make a journal, the total of debit and credit for any particular journal entry is always equal. So if everything is being done properly without making an error, then your trial balance will tally. That is the word we use. It will tally. Tally means that the debit column and the credit column, the total is equal. So it will tally. You may have made an error which is a compensating error, and in which case it will tally, but it could be wrong, right? Because if you made an error of 100 rupees on both the debit side and the credit side, then the total will tally, but the amount is incorrect. So when the trial balance tallies, it does not necessarily mean that it is correct, but it is still a very good state to be in because it essentially means that most probably you have done everything correctly. So let's look into trial balance. I'm going to share my screen so you can take a look at some brief notes that I have made. So trial balance is generally prepared in one out of two methods. So we're right here. I'm going to highlight in yellow while we speak. So preparation of trial balance is by two methods. One is from the journal, you make the ledger, and from the ledger, you make the trial balance. That is what we were speaking about so far. So this is option one. And option two is you will be given a list of accounts and the balances, but it is not being classified as a debit balance or a credit balance. And that is where we spoke earlier in the last lectures that what you need to be able to do is have an understanding of accounting, and by reading the name of the account, you should know whether it is debit or whether it is credit. So these are the two broad categories of how you make a trial balance. The easier of the two is the first one because you already know the balance is debit or credit because it is mentioned in your in your ledger. So you simply write that account name, and so how will you do it? Right? So you will say trial balance as on 31/03/2021. Okay, so you will say account, right? Debit and credit. And maybe here you have the ledger folio. So ledger folio will be a narrow column account name will be a big one. So let us say you have capital, and in the ledger of capital, maybe I come to know that the balance is 50,000. Okay. So 50,000 is what I would put over here. Let's say next I have in my ledgers, I can see something like rent. So rent will come, say 10,000 is the rent. It's an expense. It comes here. So I'll just make this for you.
Wages,
Sorry, can you repeat yourself, Divyashi? I couldn't make.
wages,
No, I can't make out what you spoke. Are you able to see the shared screen, Divyashi?
yes,
Okay. So you can see, right? So you will post it on the debit side or the credit side. This is nothing but what you will see in the ledger. From the ledger, you will move it here. Uh, so then let's say you have furniture. So furniture, say you have a balance of 40,000. So that will come over here, right? Let us say you have interest received, and let's say that is 10,000. So that will come here. So, your ledger will have the amounts either on the left side or the right side. If the left side is greater, it is a debit balance. So in rent account, the left side will be greater. That's why I put over here. Furniture, again, the debit left side will be greater. And that is why I put here. In capital, the right side, credit side will be greater. So that is why I put it over here. Okay. So this is the most simple thing. And like this, there will be various more entries, right? I have just done a few. So there will be etc., 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 right? And let us just say that this is 20,000 and this is 5,000 and this is 5,000. So what you will essentially do after that is you will take a total of this, right? So 70,000 and 70,000, and you are done. You will double underline your total column. You typically do like double rows below the total column like this. So 70, your trial balance has tallied. You say trial balance, and in an exam environment, you say trial balance of Messrs. Uh, Amit Traders. Okay, as on so and so date. So that's how you will prepare your trial balance. It will be coming in from your ledger balances. Now we will move to the second one, which is the more important one, which is how you will have probably you will have questions in your exams, which will be based on concept two, where you already need to know how to do the basic classification of accounts, right? So for the purpose of classification of your accounts, you need to be able to understand, like I said, when someone tells you there is an apple, you will assume that the apple is a red colored apple. Okay. So you don't need to look at the apple to find out that it is a red color. The same way, when someone tells you that it is capital, you should know it goes on the credit side. Same way, if interest received, you should know it goes on the credit side. So now there is a small uh, acronym for you to remember. So I keep saying you should always be clear for every account as to how it is to be classified. So you can remember clear. So clear means what? Clear means okay, capital. So capital liabilities, expenses, assets, and revenue. Okay, so expenses and assets. Now these are to be clubbed together in one category, and capital, liabilities, and revenue are to be clubbed in the second category. Okay, so now what? So everything which is yellow will have a credit balance, and everything which is green will have a debit balance. Okay, so this should help you remember if the entry in your list of accounts is capital, it will always be credit balance. If it is a liability, it will always be a credit balance. If it is revenue, it will always be a credit balance. Okay, so you have to be clear. I keep saying this, you should have clarity, you should be clear in your mind. And once you're clear in your mind, then you will kind of always be right. Okay, so remember this clear rule. Okay, the clear rule is about the debit and the, so you have to remember that these are the two which will be merged with the green color, expenses and assets, right? The first two and the last is in the same category, credit. Now I don't need this chart, right, to remember it. I just look at the name of the account and I know. It's better you reach that stage, but at the 11th standard, 12th standard level, it will not happen. You need some practice and some experience to get there. Okay. So if you use this clear concept on any account, this rule will be able to apply itself and you will be able to get it correctly. Now let's move forward to some typical examples which students could get confused with. Okay, why? Because you probably don't know these terms very well, right? Leasehold and freehold premises, freehold premises. Okay. So you have, what is the meaning of leasehold premises and freehold premises? It really doesn't matter in a sense. They are premises. Premises means a property, right? It is a freehold actually means that you are the absolute owner, and the leasehold means someone else is the owner and they have given it to you on a long lease. A long lease is minimum of 79 years, so or more. It could be 99 years, 999 years, right? So in both cases, this is a property which is belonging to your business. You have a right to use. So they are both assets. Okay. So once you know that this is an asset, then you have to use the clear concept. Okay. A bank loan. Okay. Now, okay. So once uh, it's an asset, it will have a debit balance. Let's also write that down. A bank loan is the opposite of a bank balance. Okay. A lot of times in accounts, I use this shortcut. I don't know the concept directly, but I know the exact opposite concept properly. So when bank loan is the opposite of a bank balance is always a debit balance. Okay, because the bank is holding my money. The bank is a receiver. I have given them the money and they have received that money. It is the equivalent of cash. So the debit balance of cash real balance is a debit balance and a bank real balance is a debit balance. So a bank loan is opposite of that. It is a credit, and it's simple to know that what is a bank loan? It is a liability. Okay, that's the other way of remembering it, right? It's a liability, because you are required to pay this to the bank on a future date. So it is a liability, and a liability balance will typically be a credit balance. Interest on bank loan is an expense. Okay. So if it is an expense, it will be a debit balance. Okay. Investments. Investments are what? Investments are money which you have given somebody or in a particular investment. Like a FD is an investment. Shares you may purchase, those are an investment. You can purchase bonds, right? Different asset classes are there in which you can invest your money, right? Debentures. So all these you will learn later on. But investments means you have given your money to that entity in that instrument. Okay, I'm using a few technical words to be right here. So you have given money now, it's an asset for you, as simple as that, and you will receive it back later on in future. Okay, so that is a debit balance. Okay, interest on investment. Okay, I will call it interest or return, because if it is shares, if the investment is in shares, the return is called dividend. Okay, so the word that you may use is return on investments. It is interest most often, and sometimes it could be dividend. So when you receive money, it is income. So now in our clear concept here, there is income is not there. What word we are using is revenue. So what we can do is we can write down revenue slash. You must know that these two terms are interchangeable. Revenue and income mean the same thing. Okay, from an accounting point of view, they are exactly the same. Okay, so interest on investment is revenue. Revenue means credit balance. Okay, now goodwill, patent, copyright. Uh, if you recollect the initial lecture on classification of accounts, we spoke about real accounts. And in that lecture, I mentioned that a real account is something which you can see with your eyes, which you can touch with your fingers. And these are real accounts, and that is why the term is real. And they are always having a debit balance. Now, incidentally, I had in that lecture also mentioned there are a few exceptions to that as businesses evolved and complicated structures of business evolved in the last 50 years, 40, 50 years. The concept of goodwill, patent, copyright, all of these came into play. Okay, so these are nothing but assets of the business. They are assets of the business. Oh, okay, so you have to remember this if you can. The only logic I can tell you, what is a patent? So Pepsi, if you see, the Pepsi is always having the blue and the red color in the particular shape, right? So they have a patent. Sorry, they have a copyright on that logo, right? Then the formula of how they make their beverage, the Pepsi drink, that also typically is a formula which is patented by them. Nobody else is allowed to make a beverage with that formula. Okay, so that's a patent. If you come to pharmaceutical industry, medicines, all the pharmaceutical companies, they have got patents on their medicines, and no other company can, manufacture. So that is an asset. The asset is typically something which helps the company earn revenue, right? So it's an asset, and because it is an asset, it will have debit balance. Okay. Although goodwill is an exception within this, once in a while, if at all, goodwill could have a credit balance, but don't worry about the exception right now. All of these are assets. Petty cash is actually getting merged with the main cash, right? So you typically should merge it into main cash. But if you have to show it separately, it is asset, right? And asset will have a debit balance. Okay. So today we try to do this lecture in a slightly different format. I have made a kind of notes, if you want to call it, right? The notes on trial balance, and this I will share with you. If you listen to the lecture, obviously you will be able to remember everything when you look at these notes. If you're not listening to the lecture, you will not be able to correlate, and this can help you towards your exam days, right? And so that's kind of what we have on trial balance. We can now look at a few solved examples from the textbook. Let me change the screen share from what I have right now to the textbook. While I'm struggling a bit to look for the controls, my laptop is behaving a little slow today. Some technical issues. Please bear with me for a couple. I'm sorry. So, like I said, I'm having a bit of tech issues on my laptop. That's why this is just not letting me navigate through screen. Okay, I got it now. Uh, so pause share. Share. So that's about for today's lecture on trial balance. This marks the end of category one of accounts, right? In category one of accounts, it culminates with your ability to make a trial balance. This is an important progression that you have made in terms of accounts, right? To be able to look at the primary aspects, which starts with source documents. With the source documents, you make your journal. With the journal, you make your ledger, and then with your ledger, you make your trial balance. So you have, in a sense, learned a very very important part of accounts. This part of accounts is always going to be useful because whenever you do anything in future on accounts, your knowledge on these aspects is imperative, and you will always be able to have an edge over anybody if you know all of this perfectly well. So yeah, there's a good series of about 14, 15 videos which are uploaded on my channel. You can go and review them. The total play time of these 14, 15 videos is not going to be more than 5 or 6 hours in aggregate. And if you do use speed playback, you could play it at 1.25x, 1.5x, 1.75, or even at 2x if you're comfortable listening at that speed. So, and this per se is about 5 to 6 months of syllabus in a typical 11th standard classroom. So, all the best. Look forward to seeing you on the remaining series, which will be final accounts, which is what accounts is by and large for the rest of your career as a student or even as a career in practice, right? I suggest if you like the video, please press the like button. Do subscribe to get notifications on the latest videos, and do share with your friends and spread the word on this lecture of accounts. If you do want a copy of the Excel file which we use during today's class, you can please share your email ID or something with me, and I will forward it to you. Thank you.